River run past Eve and Adams from swerve of shore to bend of bay brings us by a commodious ficus of recirculation back to Howth Castle and environs. Sir Tristram, Violaire d'Amours, for over the short sea, had Passencourt re-arrived from North Armorica, on this side the scraggy isthmus of Europe Minor, to wielder fight his peninsulate war, nor had Top Sawyer's rocks by the stream. Oconee exaggerated themselves to Lawrence County's Gorgios, while they went Dublin their mumper all the time. Nor avus from a fire bellows the Misha Misha to Taufdaf tuart Petrick. Not yet, though Venice soon after had a kid scad, but tended a bland old Isaac. Not yet, though all's fair in Venesi, were saucy cesters wroth with tone Nathan Joe. Wrought a peck of Paz malt had gem or shen brewed by arclight, and rory end to the regan brow was to be seen ringsome on the aquaface. The fall, Baba Badaljarag da caminaron conber on tonneront, want huntrovarhu noun scown tu hu ardenent thornook. Of a once Wall Street old par, is retailed early in bed and later on life down through all Christian minstrelsy. The great fall of the off-wall entailed at such short notice the pafchi shoot of Finnegan, erst solid man, that the Humpty Hillhead of himself promptly sends an inquiring one well to the west in quest of his Tumpty Tumtoes. And their upturned Pike Point and place is at the knockout in the park, where oranges have been laid to rust upon the green since Devlin's first loved Livy. What clash is here of wills gen once, oystery gods gaggin fishy gods, brekek, kekek, 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 coax, uwalu, quawwao, where the battleairs partisans are still out to Mathmaster Malachus Macrones, and the Verdons catapulting the cannibalistics out of the white boyce of Hoodie Head. A seagullies and boomerang stroms, sod's brood be me fear. Sanglorians save, arms appeal with larms appalling, killy, atoll. What chance cuddlies, what cashels aired and ventilated, what biddy metalovs, seduced by what tegoted absolvers, what true feeling for theirs hey air, with what strong voice of false Jacob. Oh, hear how hath sprawled met the dusked, the father of fornicationists, but, O my shining stars and body, how hath fain spanned most high heaven, the sky sign of soft advertisement. But is ute, ere were sewers, the oaks of Auld now, they lie in peat, yet elms leap where ashes lay. Fall if you but will, rise you must, and none so soon, either shall the farce for the nonce come to a set-down secular finish. Big Mester Finnegan of the stuttering hand, Freeman's Moorer lived in the broadest way imaginable, in his rushlet, too far back, for Meswages, before Joshuan judges had given us numbers, or Helviticus committed Deuteronomy. One yeasty day, he sternly stuck his tet in a tub for to watch the futures of his fates, but ere he swiftly stuck it out again, by the might of Moses, the very water was evaporated, and all the Genesis had met their exodus, so that ought to show you what a pension juicy chap he was. And during mighty odd years, this man of hod, cement, and edifices in Topper's Thorpe, piled bildung supra bildung pon the banks for the livers, by the so-and-so. He addle little fiffy, Annie ugged the little crater. With her hair in Hans took up your partner. Oft while Balbulus, mither ahead, with goodly trowel in grasp and iver-oiled overalls which he habitacularly fancied, like Haroun Childrick Egebirth, he would caligulate by multiplicables the altitude and maltitude, until he seesaw by knee light of the liquor, wheretwin 'twas born his round-head staple of other days, to rise in undress masonry upstanded, joy grant it. A Walworth of a skierscape, of most eyeful hoith and towerly, originating from next to nothing, and celescalating the himmels and all, higher architect tipti-top loftical, with a burning bush a bob off its bauble top, and with Larens O'Toolers clittering up, and tumbles o' buckets clottering down. Of the first was he, to bear arms and a name, Wassali Busleo of Riesengeborg, his crest of heraldry, invert with ancillars, troublant, argent, a hegoac, pursuivant, horrid, horned, his scutcheon, fest, with archers strung, helio of the second. Hooch is for husbandman handling his hoe. Ho, Mr. Finn, you're going to be Mr. Finn again. Come day morm and, oh, your vine, Sunday's eve and, your vinegar. Ha 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 ha, Mr. Fun, you're going to be fined again. What then, agent, brought about that tragedy Thursday, this municipal sin business? Our cube house still rocks as ear witness to the thunder of his Arafatas, but we hear also through successive ages that Shebi Korush of uncalified muzzle missile hymns that would blackguardize the white stone ever turtled out of heaven. Stay us wherefore in our search for righteousness. O Sustainer, what time we rise and when we take up the toothpick, and before we lump down upon our leather bed and in the night, and at the fading of the stars, for a nod to the Nabir is better than a wink to the Wabsanti. Other ways, westways like that, prove us scoffing Bedouin the Jebel and the Gypsy sea. Crawfurb the crunch bracken shall decide. Then we'll know if the feast is a fly day. She has a gift of seek on sight, and she all casually ansars helpers, the dreamy dearie, heed, heed. It may have been a misfired brick, as some say, or it might have been due to a collapsus of his back promises, as others looked at it. There extant by now 1,001 stories, all told of the same. But so sore did Abe ite Ivy's holy red apples. What with the Walhall's horrors of Rolls-Royce, car hacks, stone engines, kissed vanes, tram trees, fargaballers, autokinetons, hippohobblies, street fleets, turning taxes, megafogs, circuses, and wards moats, and basilicirks, and aeropagods, and the hoice, and the jolly brule, and the peeler in the coat, and the Mecklenburg bitch bite at his ear, and the Merlinborough burrocks, and his four old poor-courts, the boar the moor, and his blight black working stacks, at 12 pins a dozen, and the Nubibesses slading along Safety First Street, and the Derry Jellyboys snooping around, tell no tailor's corner, and the fumes and the hopes, and the strupethump of his Ville's indigenous Rome keepers, home sweepers, dome creepers, thurum and thurum in fancy mud murrumed, and all the uproar from all the off-roofs, a roof for May, and a reef for Hugh Butt, under his bridge suits Tony, one warning Phil tippling full. His howd field heavy, his hoddit did shake. There was a wall, of course, in erection. Dim, he stottered from the ladder. Damn, he was dud. Dumb, mastabatum, mastabad Tom, when a mon marries his lute is all long, for whole the world to see.